Congratulations, you just woken up after 48 hours without sleep. You're still alive. Your body has been on a downward spiral since the moment you closed your eyes last. Outside, it's pitch black, but you can hear the distant sound of train rumbling in the background, a stark contrast to the era. Your eyes feel like they're glued shut, and the world is a blurry haze as you try to sit up. The mattress beneath you is lumpy and uncomfortable, the straw poking through in places, scratching your skin like tiny claws. You blink and try to focus, but your vision is swimming, and your heart is racing, pounding in your ears like a drum in a haunted house. Your throat is dry, and your mouth tastes like old socks. You stagger to your feet, but your legs feel like jelly. It's like trying to run a marathon in a pair of shoes made of sand. And the worst part? You're not even fully awake yet. Your head feels like it's stuffed with cotton, and your mind is foggy, making even the simplest tasks seem impossible. But here's what nobody expected. The longer you stay awake, the more your brain starts to shut down critical functions. You're tired, but sleep seems like an impossible dream. Your body is screaming for rest, but your mind is in a race against time, try to keep you functional just a bit longer. And the worst part? You're only at the beginning of this nightmare. You blink, and the room spins. Congratulations, you just hit the 48-hour mark. The good news, you're still breathing. The bad news, so, is your headache. Your bed is a queen-size marvel compared to medieval straw, but it's lost all its magic. Your pillow is a lumpy reminder of the hours ticking by. But here's the thing. Your mattress is starting to feel like the world's most uncomfortable torture device. You grab your phone, but your fingers move like they're trapped in a vat of molasses. It's like trying to use your phone underwater. The clock reads 3 a.m. You think, maybe if I just close my eyes for a minute. But here's what nobody expected. Sleep won't come back so easily. It's like trying to call a friend who's busy, but this friend doesn't pick up the phone. You groan, realizing you need to get up. But here's the twist. Your body is not cooperating. Every muscle feels like it's made of lead. It's like trying to walk through quicksand, but with less success. You drag yourself to the bathroom, where the mirror stares back at you with a ghostly reflection. Your skin looks pale and clammy, and your eyes are bloodshot and weary. But probably not as weary as a medieval night after a full day of jousting. You think, maybe a glass of water will help. But here's the thing. Your throat feels like it's been sandpapered. Every swallow feels like a chore. It's like trying to drink through a straw filled with gravel. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, your stomach rumbles like a freight train. You consider making something, but your hands are trembling too much to handle a knife. It's like trying to cut a cake with a shaking hand. And that's all before breakfast, but probably not before another attempt at sleep. You close the fridge, and the cold air nips at your skin like 1,000 tiny pinpricks. You think, maybe if I just sit down? But here's the thing. Sitting feels like standing. Every position feels worse than the last. And just when you think you can't take another minute, the room turns into a whirlwind of confusion. Your mind races and your body aches. It's like being caught in a storm without an umbrella. You close your eyes, hoping for a moment of relief. But here's the twist. Your brain is still racing. It's like trying to meditate in a crowded market. And just when you think you might find a sliver of peace, the room tilts once again. Your body is on the edge of collapse, and your mind is a chaotic mess. It's like being caught in a hurricane, but with less wind. You wonder what's next. But here's the thing. You can't even think straight. Your mind is a blur of confusion and exhaustion. And just when you think you might unravel, the room falls silent again. But probably not for long. The clock keeps ticking, and the night is far from over. The clock keeps ticking, and the night is far from over. You start to feel like a character in a bad horror movie. Except the monsters are your own exhausted body and mind. By the 48-hour mark, your brain feels like a foggy, flickering lantern. But here's the thing. Your body is doing more than just feeling tired. It's starting to play tricks on you. You notice your vision is starting to blur, and you can't focus on anything for more than a few seconds. It's like your eyes are having a disagreement with your brain, and your brain is too exhausted to mediate. However, the real mystery starts to unfold when you begin to experience vivid hallucinations. You see things that aren't there, hear whispers, and even catch glimpses of shadows moving in the corners of your vision. It's like your mind is trying to entertain you with its own special brand of horror flick. You'd think this is just your imagination running wild, right? Maybe you're just seeing things because you're so tired. But here's what nobody expected. Your body is actually altering your perception of reality, and it's doing it to protect you. Your brain is trying to send you warning signals in the form of hallucinations, telling you to rest before you do something really stupid. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, your body starts to feel like a broken down car, every part groaning and protesting with each movement. It's like your body is trying to send you a message, but it's not just any message. Everything changes when your body begins to shut down essential functions to conserve energy. You'd think you'd be feeling cold, but you're sweating like a hostage in a sauna. Your body is doing this to save itself from complete exhaustion. But here's the kicker. Your immune system is also taking a hit, and your body's defense against illness is starting to weaken. But probably not in the way you'd expect. You think you're just tired, but you're actually opening yourself up to all kinds of infections. And just as you start to think you're at the bottom, your body is about to take you even deeper into the rabbit hole. You'd think you'd be done for, but you're just getting started. The mystery deepens, and you're only halfway there. You've been awake for what feels like an eternity. Your mind is buzzing, trying to process what it's been through. But here's the thing. It's not just your mind playing tricks on you. Your body is starting to show signs of something much more sinister. You're starting to feel like you're in the twilight zone. The world around you is a haze of confusion, and you can barely keep your thoughts straight. You think you might be hallucinating. Maybe you're dreaming. But then you start to notice something even more alarming. Your muscles are starting to feel weak. You can barely lift your arms without shaking, and your mind is foggy. You're having trouble remembering things that happened just a few hours ago. But here's the twist. You're not just exhausted. You're in the early stages of something that could be life-threatening. You'd think after staying up for 48 hours, you'd just be tired, maybe a bit cranky, but probably not. However, your body is beginning to show signs of something far more serious. It's like your body is shouting at you in a language you can't understand. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, your immune system is taking a hit. Your body is less equipped to fight off infections. You're starting to feel the first signs of a cold coming on. But here's the kicker. You're not just dealing with a common cold. You're facing the possibility of something far worse. You'd think staying awake for 2 days would just make you cranky, maybe a bit delirious, but probably not. However, the reality is that prolonged sleep deprivation can lead to some shocking consequences. You're not just losing your grip on reality. You're putting yourself at risk for something that could be a real game changer. Your body is starting to shut down in ways you never imagined. Your heart rate is erratic. Your blood pressure is fluctuating. And your brain is struggling to keep up with the demands of being awake for this long. It's like your body is trying to tell you something, but you can't quite grasp it. You're not just tired. You're in the early stages of a potentially life-altering condition. Your body is telling you that it needs rest, and it needs it now. But here's the thing. Even if you manage to sleep, the damage might already be done. It's like your body is running a marathon without water or food, and it's starting to show. But probably not. And that's all before you experience the true shock of what happens next. Your body is warning you, but you're not quite sure what it's trying to tell you yet. Your vision blurs, and you feel like you're floating away from your body. But here's the thing. This isn't just exhaustion talking. It's your body shutting down, and it's trying to protect you from making majorly bad decisions. You start to see things that aren't there, shapes moving in the corners of your eyes, shadows dancing across the walls. It's like your brain is playing a cruel trick on you, throwing random images at you to keep you off balance. But here's what nobody expected. When you push your body this far, your senses become super sensitive. Every sound is amplified, every light is blinding, and every smell is overpowering. It's like being in a sensory overload zone. You'd think you're just tired. Maybe you're hallucinating. Actually, you're entering a state where your brain can't tell the difference between reality and imagination. And that's all before you hit the next terrifying stage. You're about to find out that the body's defense mechanism isn't just about making you sleepy. It's also about making you so uncomfortable that you have to stop what you're doing. You'd think that after 48 hours, you'd be used to it, but probably not. Everything changes when you realize that every effort to stay awake is like stepping on a booby trap. You're not just dealing with sleepiness anymore. You're dealing with the full-on onslaught of your body's defenses against you. You're about to find out just how far your body is willing to go to make you stop. But here's the thing. You're just getting started. And that's the scary part. And that's the scary part. Not the sleep deprivation, but the fact that your body, which feels like it's falling apart, is still pushing you to keep going. But here's what nobody expected. Your mind, battered and bruised from 2 days without rest, starts to whisper secrets. Your body aches, your thoughts are fuzzy, and your reflexes are as sluggish as molasses. Yet, you feel an eerie calm. It's like the storm has passed, leaving behind a strange, quiet world where everything seems possible. Your brain, exhausted but awake, starts to make connections you never thought possible. In the middle of the night, when the world is at its quietest, you feel a sudden clarity. The chaos of the day fades away, and all that's left is a stillness that's almost tangible. You realize that this state, this moment of quiet reflection, is what ancient monks sought after for years. They would stay awake for days, not because they were forced to, but because they believed in the power of the still, quiet mind. You think about how the ancient Greeks believed sleep was the time when the gods would visit your dreams, guiding you. But here you are, awake, and the gods are silent. Yet, the stillness feels sacred, like you've stumbled upon a secret temple hidden deep in the wilderness of your own mind. As the clock strikes 1, you wonder if this is what it feels like to be a ghost, floating above the chaos of the living world. You're not sleeping, but you're not quite awake either. You're in a strange, liminal state where the lines between reality and imagination blur. And then it hits you. This is the secret. This is why people have stayed awake for centuries, not just to fight exhaustion, but to reach this place. This place where the world is quiet and your mind is free to wander. It's like being underwater, where everything slows down and you can see things you never noticed before. But here's the twist. This enlightenment, this quiet revelation, is fleeting. As the sun starts to rise, the world wakes up with it. The stillness is broken, and the cycle of sleep and wakefulness begins again. Yet, for those precious moments, you've tasted something deeper, something that might just change the way you see the world. And perhaps that's the most profound part. Not that you managed to stay awake for 48 hours, but that you found a moment of peace in the chaos, a secret that most people never notice. It's like finding a hidden door in an old house, one that leads to a garden you never knew existed. So here's the final thought. When the world wakes up, will you remember this moment of quiet reflection? Will you carry the stillness with you, even as the chaos of daily life resumes? Because sometimes the most important things aren't the loud ones. They're the quiet ones, the ones you have to search for. And that's it. You made it through. Now, go ahead and get some sleep.